Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is the Peaslee Building Committee. It's Thursday, June 26th, and it is 7:03, and I call this meeting to order. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. We have a brief agenda. Our first order of business is to review and approve meeting minutes, and we do have 3 meeting dates that we're reviewing and approving. Unless there's a objection, we could entertain a motion to approve them as a group. And you have received those prior to this meeting. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's been moved and seconded to approve meeting minutes from the 3 dates here. Is there any discussion, corrections, notes on those meeting minutes? Okay, and hearing none, we will vote by roll call, starting with Kelly,
Yes.
Lauren Bailey,
Yes.
Diana Nicholas,
Yes.
Kevin Warsh,
Yes.
Robert Tomasetti. He says yes by thumbs up, and Erica Hall, yes. So the motion carries. Thank you. We also welcome Tristan. Welcome. All right, so our agenda item 3 is called approval of request for services document. So our committee met and with a quorum by group consensus sort of approved edits to the request for services document. And in order to make sure that we cross all the T's and dot all the I's, we do need a formal motion that that request for services document is formally approved by the committee. And so this is the document that we've been working on, and you have received a copy prior to the meeting. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the request for services document as written.
And can I add one other note to that?
Yes, sure, yes.
To approve the document and to approve it for advertisement.
So the motion would be to approve the request for services document as written and to approve it for advertising.
So moved. This is Lauren.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the request for services document and approve it for advertising. Is there any discussion? In hearing none, I'll take a vote by roll call. Kelly Gannett,
Yes.
Lauren Bailey,
Yes.
Diana Nicholas,
Yes.
Kevin Warsh,
Yes.
Robert Tomasetti,
Yes.
Tristan Bezant.
I'll abstain since I'm not quite sure what I'm voting on.
Okay, Tristan abstains. Erica Hall, yes. And the motion carries. Thank you. And I would like to turn the meeting over to Greg and Becky, who have been working tirelessly to make sure, the MSBA can't bring an incomplete file to their next meeting. And so all the questions and all the documents need to complete a file. And so in addition to closing out the school year, that's what's been going on in the superintendent's office. But I would turn the meeting over to Greg and Becky for updates on the process and next steps.
So Erica, I will just share that I wish I could take credit, but I won't. Becky has been the leader behind all of this work. So I just want to thank Becky. And Becky, I'll turn it over to you.
Sure. So just to update the committee on what we've been working on over the past few weeks. So we have worked with PMA, and we have successfully negotiated a contract with them for the OPM services. So the next step is I've been going back and forth really with MSBA. We need to submit a narrative document to MSBA that really outlines the process that this committee took for selecting PMA as our OPM. So that document is actually due to them tomorrow morning. And it is all done, ready to go. And so thank you for that vote, because that really finalizes what needs to be submitted to them. And then we will appear at the MSBA meeting on July 7th, where we will then present our recommended candidate of PMA as our OPM to the MSBA, and they will ask us questions about the process, and will hopefully ultimately decide to approve that our selection.
Kelly.
Should some of us attend that meeting? Is it a virtual or is it an in-person meeting?
It is a virtual meeting. I don't think everyone needs to attend, but if people want to attend, it is an open meeting. It is a public open meeting.
So we'll get an invite from MSBA
Mhm.
probably midweek next week. And Erica, we can provide you with that
Mhm.
invite.
Other questions? All right, thank you. Yes, Lauren.
So, you said that you successfully negotiated a contract. Can you share what the details of the contract are? And I know at town meeting 2 town meetings ago, right? We approved a certain financial number. So does it meet that criteria?
So the amount that was approved at town meeting was 900,000, and that was for the full study. So that would include the fees for the OPM as well as the architect. So the contract is one that is set out by MSBA. So it was really their document. I'm just trying to pull up, and I should have had this, I apologize. The final amount that was approved with PMA. Sorry, it's like a 25-page document here.
I believe it was 370,
330.
30.
So 330, 167. So of that 900,000, 330 would go towards the OPM firm. And then the rest would be for any type of surveys or studies that need to be done, and also the architect that will be the next step where we procure an architectural firm.
Diana.
Do you have a sense of how soon the designer RFS will be issued?
I believe that work will start right after it is approved. The OPM is approved by MSBA. Greg, did you want to share
Yeah,
any?
so MSBA leads that process, as you know, Diana. So we'll
Mhm.
wait to hear from them, and they really take the major lead on that.
Mhm.
And we're a small membership of the MSBA board of directors when we go through that process.
Yeah, yes, I just didn't, usually though, the OPM is involved in helping author that document and
Mhm.
then issuing it. So I was just curious how soon we think the OPM will be ready to issue the draft or issue the RFS itself, that piece before the MSBA gets involved in the selection.
I think the next steps really are once they're approved by the MSBA, then that's when they start to work on that document. And that's when we collectively decide what date that we want to, I think, present to MSBA, and then we work backward from there. I would
Okay.
suspect that we would probably be on the either October or November MSBA calendar or meeting calendar.
So then we'll just work back. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Kelly.
Yeah, so kind of along those dates, like I know the July 7th was one of the next dictated dates. So there isn't any other dictated dates after this one yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
And I think, one of the things I want to touch on before we leave here tonight is just setting some expectations around a time frame for our launch meeting when presumably we'll come together with the OPM and kind of have a kickoff meeting following the July MSBA decision. Have the OPM recommended sort of a meeting for the launch date for this committee to come back together?
Not yet, no.
So it's something I'd like to keep as we head into the summer. My goal is to get something on all of your calendars for a launch meeting so that we can plan for the summer. I know people disappear, but I would like to get a date in the calendar and send that out to you as soon as possible. Kelly.
For scheduling meetings, I know our meetings last year, a lot of them fell on Tuesdays.
Yes.
I can't do Tuesdays anymore. I have
Okay.
take a night class on Tuesdays. And it's running till probably early December. So I'm in Worcester at a class, so I wouldn't be able to attend any Tuesday night class meetings.
Thank
Not
you.
that you have to plan around me, but I'm just throwing that out there.
We're happy to plan with you
Yeah.
in mind, Kelly. And also, I think at the launch meeting, I would like to have an understanding of the frequency that OPM needs us in this next phase, and then sort of take a poll on people's availability. So that's what we'll work on behind the scenes. The next big checkpoint being, don't panic, Rebecca, but like 14 days away. So, whew, okay. Any other notes or updates or discussion on process and timeline? Okay. Hearing none, and with a huge thank you, because I've seen some of the emails going back and forth, and it's a job that has required a tremendous attention to detail. So thank you, Becky, for doing that. Then we would move on to new business. So I would entertain from the committee members, any new business questions, anything you want to put on our radar at this point? Lauren.
So I think one thing that I think resonated with me during the interview process was that multiple firms just talked about making sure that the message from our committee and from our OPM is consistent, correct from the get-go. And already, I've had people come up to me, hey, like, what's the plan? What's the reconfiguration? And so I just think that we should all be very cautious about what we say because there is no plan yet. And know that, once we are talking with the OPM and we're doing a lot of our outreach to the community, and then a decision is made or not made, or we're in the process of deciding, we just all have the same story and information that's being shared.
Thank you. And to that point, I do think that's a next big task for our launch meeting. And as we open dialogue with our hopeful prospective OPM, is the PR and the messaging. In the meantime, I would encourage that as you who are active in the community, every one of you are approached, that, the talking point at this point is kind of exactly what, Lauren, what you just said, which is that there is no plan. The plan is to make a plan, and that this is a potentially multi-year conversation with the town of Northborough that does not only pertain to Peaslee, that it pertains to our educational planning for the foreseeable future for all kids across the town. So I think that's the messaging for right now. And secondly, that this group is made up of a remarkably talented group of individuals with a great perspective, each from sort of different angles, and that this group is prepared to ask all the big questions that need to be asked moving forward. So I think those are the two big talking points, in that this is not only pertaining to Peaslee. This is education planning for the whole town, really. Right now, we happen to be called the Peaslee Building Committee. it may be the opinion of our OPM and the PR team that the committee may need a more generic title. Any other comments or new business? Okay, well, nobody wants to spend all of Thursday together, I guess, is the vibe that I'm getting. You're all very polite though, so I appreciate that. Hearing no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. I'll take a vote by roll call. Kelly Gannett,
Yes.
Lauren Bailey,
Yes.
Diana Nicholas,
Yes.
Kevin Warsh,
Yes.
Robert Tomasetti,
Yes.
Kristen Bezant,
Yes.
Erica Hall. I vote yes. So motion carries and meeting is adjourned at 7:19. And thank you all for your time tonight and have a great summer.
Thanks, Erica.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night.